They appear to swagger the Americans, and why shouldn't they? In every Pan Am Games they had entered, they won. But with team gold on the line here, they didn't count on Yvonne Tussek's tumbling. These Leveille's bars gave them a jolt. And when Michelle Conway made the balance beam her property, a powerful current surged through every Canadian heart in the place. Headlines raged, an upset, a shocker, a tale of the unexpected that gold belonged to the home team. Could it be the spark that ignites Olympic aspirations? As America watched Canadian women beam, today in the all-around they hope to generate more electricity. There's the scene of the big victory, Winnipeg Arena, as the women go center stage for one of the marquee medals of the Games. You can't underestimate the importance of the victory in the team competition for Canada. The Americans had never lost in that regard at the Pan Am Games, and Carol Angela, it doesn't sit well with them.
There's an excellent rapport between the two nations, and when I spoke to head American coach Marilee Tracy, she was delighted for the Canadians, but she made it perfectly clear they didn't come to participate or to gain experience, they came to win. So I expect the Americans to be back with a vengeance. It's the individual all-round gold medal that's up for grabs, and the Americans want it.
Canadians have the gold medal in their back pocket. Any worry in terms of a letdown heading to the individual competition?
The team competition was so exciting, so much emotion. I know the women will be depending on that this evening, but there's one test that they're going to have to experience. This is an individual all-around competition, and they'll be isolated in separate groups, so they can't rely on that team chemistry to motivate them. It's going to have to come from within.
There are 3 Canadian women, 4 apparatus, Pan Am gold on the line at the Winnipeg Arena. One of the favorites for the individual all-around championship has to be Jenny Thompson of Wichita Falls, Texas, 17 years old. She starts on the floor exercise.
Jenny is quite a performer on this event. She knows how to captivate a crowd and the judges. Great start for her. Double layout. The athletes are looking for the most aggressive tumbling that they can show. Not as many smiles tonight from Jenny. I think she's very focused on the task. Fighting hard for each landing. The athletes want to show a lot of stability. And the judging is going to be very critical this evening. This is an important gold medal that's on the line.
Great place to start for Jenny Thompson in the team competition. She scored a 9-7 on the floor exercise.
Oh, Scott, she's got all the right stuff. She can dance. And she's such a powerful athlete, very strong, and can get a lot of rebound out of those legs. A long pause in the corner. She's showing a little bit of fatigue. Whip, double pike. Extremely difficult to do in combination like that. Timing was right on.
Well, a member of the 1997 World Championship team for the United States, 17-year-old Jenny Thompson completes her floor exercise. There's her coach, Marilee Tracy. Jenny now trains at the Cincinnati Gymnastics Academy with Marilee.
Watch the explosive power. Round off back handspring, double layout. She's completely stretched in the air and nails down that landing. It's such a good feeling, Scott, for these athletes when they can nail the first routine. Really builds their confidence. That will be a landing deduction. Notice how she jumped to the side. But she did not go out of bounds. This last line is very complicated. Out of the whip right there, she has to punch straight up for 2 saltos in the pike position. Extremely well done.
And there's the score for Jenny Thompson, just slightly lower than her team score, 9.687 for Thompson of the United States. Here is 17-year-old Lise Leveille of Canada on the floor exercise.
Deep in thought. Now watch the smile start to shine. They've had the opportunity to work with Lise for the past month, and she really practices her performance quality. Hangs on to that triple twist. Lise knows how to make eye contact with the judges. Draws them right into her performance. Now, Lisa's second tumbling line is extremely difficult for her to do well. It's a 2.5 punch front, and it's difficult because right now that's a blind takeoff. Just too much power this evening. Right out of bounds. Great jump combination. Here's her spin double. Shishinova with a half turn. Always doing them in combination. Now the last line is a big one. She's going to do a double pike. That's what she has planned. That last breath. Round off back handspring. There it is. A good start for Lise Levier.
17 years old, she competes for the Flickit Gymnastics Club in North Vancouver, British Columbia. Lise Levier, a member of Canada's gold medal winning team here in Winnipeg.
Behind you. Good work, man. Good
There's
work.
her coach, Nancy Beyer.
Okay, power the ball, okay?
Quite powerful. Round off back handspring. There's the triple twist. Slightly under-rotated.
Well, Lise Levier was rock solid for Canada in the team competition. A great start here, 9-5-2-5. After the first rotation, Jenny Thompson of the United States leads. Lise Levier of Canada is third. Yvonne Tusek and Michelle Conway are right there. Michelle Conway of Canada to the balance beam. She was so solid here in the team competition.
This is a good event for Michelle. She knows how to be aggressive and she knows how to go for it. First element. Punch front salto. Now, unfortunately, she is supposed to connect that with a jump. Although she saved it and it's on the beam, she's now going to be down 0.1 in start value. Remember, Scott, the athletes are trying to pack as much as they can into the routine. Back handspring, layout, very solid.
Michelle had a 9.387 on the beam to help Canada win the gold medal.
Good switch. When you combine two of them together, there's a 0.2 in bonus. Changing levels on the beam. The judges want to see you working up high and down low. Gives you an interesting creative choreography. And here's a big move. Spin double. Now, she did not connect it with the jump, so that's going to severely affect her start value. The important thing on this event is not to rush, to keep it solid. Just the dismount to go. Round off, double tuck. A good solid routine, Scott, but her start value will be affected by not putting together those combinations.
Well, Michelle was spectacular during the team competition. She was the last competitor up for Canada. It was on the balance beam, and she scored so well to help that gold medal victory.
This is a nice original move. Illusion full. It's a D and no one else does it. Into a jump, it gets her another 10th in bonus.
Well, she's down from the team competition. It's a 9.212 for Conway of Canada on the beam. This is 19-year-old Yvonne Tusek of Canada on the floor exercise.
The marks have been very high on floor to start, and that is going to motivate Yvonne. She knows she has a fantastic floor routine with wonderful choreography and sky-high tumbling. Arabian double front. No deductions there. Here's another big line. 2.5 punch front. She is pulling it all together.
Michelle qualified first for this individual all-around competition. That was through the team event.
And we've talked a lot about this brand new floor routine. It suits her perfectly. Always very unique choreography that I think only she could get away with. Nice change of levels. She knows how to express herself. And that's not easy to do when you have to think about the jumps, the turns, and the tumbling.
Lives and trains in Cambridge, Ontario for the Kips.
Scott, take a look at the ankles, both heavily taped. She has had a lot of ankle problems, and this last line is the one that kills her ankles. It's a triple twist. She's got to punch it up, and she's got it out of bounds, but that's probably one of the best triples I've seen her do.
Well, the one step out of bounds just as she finishes the routine, but it was packed full of skill. Yvonne Tusek of Canada.
The second line is difficult to do. 2.5. There's the blind takeoff, punch front in combination.
Score for Yvonne Tusek, 9.587 on the floor X. Here is the leader after one rotation, Jenny Thompson of the United States. The first of 2 vaults.
Remember the tumbling skill we saw on floor. Well, here it is again. Fantastic power. That's your Yurchenko half front layout. Start value for that is 9.6. And other than the landing deduction, it looks good in the air.
Getting some instructions from her coach, Mary Lee Tracy.
Good direction, straight on the horse. Look how stretched her body is. Remember, the run is not judged. Right now, the judging begins, and the evaluation shows very few errors, just the hop on the landing.
Jenny had a 9.687 to start on the floor exercise. The score for her first vault here is a 9.187. Second vault, now they'll average the scores for the total.
And Jenny has an advantage because she is such a strong vaulter. She can show 2 different vaults that have fairly high start value. Waiting for the judges to acknowledge. Oh, fantastic! Yurchenko double twist. One of the few that we're likely to see in this competition. That has a start value of 9.9, extremely valuable.
North Americans going head-to-head in the women's individual all-around. Canada's Yvonne Tusek leads, but only just over Jenny Thompson and Morgan White of USA. Well, here is the vault and the chance for Michelle Conway of Canada. She leads after 3 rotations.
Her first vault is Yurchenko half front layout, and that's fairly well done. Now she has a decision to make. First vault, round off onto the beatboard, bumps up, fairly stretched in the air, a little short on the landing. That'll cost her a 10th. Start value is 9.6. They deduct from there, a little soft in the knees, and on that landing, but boy, is she fighting for it.
Well, there's Michelle, and her first score on the vault will be a 9.112.
Well, Scott, it's decision time. She wants to compete at Yurchenko 1.5 because of the start value. It's a 9.8. She has never competed this vault before. It was supposed to be ready for national championships, and unfortunately she got the flu and didn't compete. So this is the first time ever. She's going to have to really bump it up off the horse. Bump it up. There's the 1.5.
Well, Michelle Conway tries something new, pulls out all the stops, and lands it here at the Pan American Games. David Kenwright is acting as her coach today. But she's from Sports Seneca in Toronto, Ontario. Michelle Conway has landed a brand new vault for her.
What a heroic moment for Michelle. That is the first time she's ever competed that vault, and that was a good decision that she made.
Congratulations from Jamie Dancher of the United States, and here's another look at a big vault for Conway of Canada.
The reason it's so valuable, there's a 1.5 twist before she lands.
Her bulge over Jenny Thompson was 1/10 after 3 rotations, a 9.2 on the second vault. Reason to beam for Michelle Conway. Yvonne Tusek of Cambridge, Ontario, led at the midway point of the competition. After the third rotation, she was in fourth position, but within striking distance to the bars.
And what a wonderful event for Yvonne to finish. She is so strong, so original. Here's the first release. Jaeger. But watch this. No one in the competition does this. It's a Hindorf release. She's not done there, Scott. She's got another one right here. Pack salto. Good control. This is a stressful time. She knows all she has to do is nail this dismount down, and she can fly here. Double layout, and she's got it.
Wow, what a reaction. The Canadians are coming on in rotation number 4. Yvonne Tusek, her coach Elvira Sadi. For so long, she's been Canada's top international performer, and she sticks this one.
This is beautiful work because it's so difficult. Take a look. High-flying Hindorf. Caught with slightly bent elbows. That'll be a deduction.
4/10 back to start the rotation. The crowd's booing, but it turns out the bent elbows hurt Yvonne Tusek. 9-1-5 on the unevens. Well, we figured that 16-year-old Morgan White might be near the lead at the end of this competition. She qualified second after the team event.
Scott, we said off the top of the show that the Americans would come back with a vengeance, and this is a wonderful event for Morgan because of originality just like that. Beautiful eagles right into an endo. Very few athletes can perform that maneuver. It takes extreme flexibility in the wrist and the shoulders. Hop giant full to back straddle. Scott, she just needs to nail a dismount. Pushing every step of the way.
And she's trying to catch Michelle Conway of Canada, who has the gold medal position right now.
That is a great dismount with a wonderful landing. That's what Mary Tracy is looking for.
Great applause for 16-year-old Morgan White, the 1998 national junior champion in the United States, vying for a position on the World Championship team for the U.S. That's coming up in China. And getting some advice and some congratulations from Mary Lee Tracy.
Beautiful pirouette work. Right through to her overshoot. Judges are looking for an exact handstand there.
16-year-old Morgan White of West Bend, Wisconsin, and there's her result on the uneven bars, 9.525. That's the gold medal for White. Final results in the women's individual all-around. Morgan White of the United States wins it. Michelle Conway of Canada, the silver medal. Jenny Thompson, the bronze. Canada, 3 in the top 5.
Michelle Conway, whatever possessed you to attempt a vault that you had never competed on before?
Well, my coach came down and asked me if I was confident enough to try it, and I said certainly, and because I knew that I was in the ranking of top 3, so I wanted to stay that way.
Michelle, what does it mean to have captured a team gold, and you did it on the balance beam for Team Canada, then to come back here for an individual silver? What does it mean to you?
It just makes me feel so good, and especially that I'm at home, it just makes me feel so good, and I'm just so excited.
Congratulations, Michelle Conway, individual all-around silver medalist.